Shabbat Yom, brothers and sisters, Hebrews in Jamaica, the Caribbeans, the West, to the four corners of the earth, scattered greetings. This Shabbat lesson, I'm going to title it, Where is the Ark? Right, brothers and sisters? Yes, brothers and sisters. Where is the Ark of Yahuah? Right? This is the first day of the new year, brothers and sisters, the true New Year's, right? Where everything comes back to life, right? Birds outside singing and giving praise to the Most High, right? The trees are rejuvenating, the seas, the animals, earth is rejuvenating. Everything comes back to life, brothers and sisters, right? This is the true original New Year's according to scriptures, according to your biblical history, so-called black people scattered to the four corners of the earth, descendants of Hebrew slaves, royal people, right? So where is the Ark of the covenant of Yahuah? Where is the Ark of Yahuah? Right? Look at the screen, brothers and sisters. We're going to go to Hebrews 9:4 from the Sefer Bible. Sefer mean scroll. Right, brothers and sisters? Sefer mean scroll. Right? Okay, brothers and sisters. So turn the scriptures. Right? If you have your King James, you could follow 1611 King James, you could follow. Right? So reading from the Sefer. Right? So Hebrews 9:1-4. Right? Then verily, the first covenant had also ordinance of divine service, and a worldly sanctuary, for there was a tabernacle made with first, wherein was the candlestick, and the table, and the shewbread, which is called the sanctuary. And after the second veil, the tabernacle, which is called the holiest of holies, which had the golden censer, and the ark of the covenant overlaid round about with gold, wherein was the golden pot that had manna, and Aaron's rod that budded, and the table of the covenant. The Ark of the Covenant, also known as the Ark of the Testimony of the Ark of Elohim, is an artifact believed to be the most sacred relic of the Israelites, which is described as a wooden chest covered in pure gold with an elaborately designed lid called the mercy seat. According to the book of Exodus, the ark contained the 2 stone tablets of the 10 commandments. According to the New Testament book of the Hebrews, it also contained Aaron's rod that budded and a pot of manna. The biblical account relates that approximately 1 year after the Israelites' exodus from Mizraim, Egypt, the ark was created according to the pattern given to Moshe by Elohim when the Israelites were encamped at the foot of Mount Sinai. Thereafter, the golden plated acacia chest was carried by its staffs by the Levites approximately 2,000 cubits, approximately 800 meters or 2,600 feet in advance of the people. When on the march, Elohim spoke with Moses from between the 2 cherubim on the ark's cover. Where is the Ark of the Covenant now? Where is the Ark of the Covenant now that David carried around with the 10 Commandments inside of it? Unlike certain entertaining movies that depict the Ark of the Covenant being an easy archaeological find referring to Indiana Jones, the biblical whereabouts of the Ark of the Covenant is less clear. The last mention of the Ark in Scripture is when King Josiah commands it to be returned to a temple in Jerusalem in as part of honoring the Passover. 2 Chronicles 35:3. And he said to the Levites who taught all Yashael and who were holy of Yahuah, put the holy ark in the house that Solomon, the son of David, king of Yashael, built. You need not carry it on your shoulders. Now serve Yahuah your Elohim and his people Yashael. Subsequently in history, Jerusalem was invaded twice by King Nebuchadnezzar. We read of this second siege around 600 BC in 2 Kings, right? 2 Kings 24:10. At that time, the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up to Jerusalem, and the city was besieged. Right? 2 Kings 24:11. And Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to the city while his servants were besieging it. 2 Kings 24:12. And Joachim, the king of Judah, gave himself up to the king of Babylon, himself and his mother and his servants and his officials and his palace officials. The king of Babylon took him prisoner in the 8th year of his reign. 2 Kings 24:13. And carried off all the treasures of the house of Yahuah and the treasures of the king's house, and cut in pieces all the vessels of gold in the temple of Yahuah, which Solomon king of Yashrael had made, as Yahuah had foretold. Perhaps the ark was included in these treasures, raided from the temple and simply not mentioned, or it may have been destroyed or lost in the chaos of the attack, or even buried beneath the temple mount prior to Nebuchadnezzar's arrival. Ultimately, we will never know. Yahuah does not want Yashrael and the world to remain focused on the ark now that the Mashiach Yahushua has appeared to fulfill everything the ark represented, as Yahuah spoke through Jeremiah. Okay, brothers and sisters, take a look at this screen, right? Take a look at the screen, brothers and sisters. We're going to go to Jeremiah 3:16, right, from the Sefer Bible. Jeremiah 3:16. Okay, brothers and sisters, Jeremiah, we're going to start from verse 14. Jeremiah 3:14 to 16, right? Turn, O backsliding children, said Yahuah, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And it shall come to pass, when ye be multiplied and increased in the land in those days, said Yahuah, they shall say no more, the ark of the covenant of Yahuah, neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall that be done any more. Increasingly, the apostle John, John, talks later in scriptures of an ark in heaven, right? Let's go to Revelation 11:19. So on your screen, brothers and sisters, Revelation 11, we're going to take it from 17 to 19. You see for Bible, right? Saying, we give thee thanks, O Yahuah, Elohim Almighty, which art and was and art to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and has reigned. And the nations were angry, and the wrath is come on the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servant, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And the temple of Elohim was open in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of the testimony, and there were lightning and voices and thundering, and the ark, an earthquake, and great hail. However, as we can read earlier in Hebrews 9:23, the earthly temple and the ark are only a copy of the heavenly things. So this ark in heaven is the true original version from which Moshe modeled his construction, which one day we as believers will see with all the majesty of heaven. It is also in the writing that the prophet Jeremiah, having received an oracle, ordered that the tent and the ark should follow with him, and that he went out to the mountain where Moshe had gone up and had seen the inheritance of Elohim. And Jeremiah came and found a cave, and he brought there the tent and the ark and the altar of the incense, and he sealed up the entrance. Some of those who followed him came up to mark the way, but could not find it. When Jeremiah learned of it, he rebuked them and declared, the place shall be unknown until Elohim gathers his people together again and shows his mercy. And then Yahuah will disclose these things, and the glory of Yahuah and the cloud will appear, as they were shown in the case of Moshe And as Solomon asks that a place should be especially consecrated, that's 2nd Maccabee 2, 48. Okay, brothers and sisters, we're going to look at that. Take a look at the screen. Okay, brothers and sisters, this is from the Apocrypha, right? 1611 KJV from the Apocrypha Maccabees 2, 48, right? It was also contained in the same writing that the prophets, being one of Elohim, commanded the tabernacle and the ark to go with him, as he went forth into the mountain where Moshe climbed up and saw the heritage of Elohim. And when Jeremy came thither, he found an hollow cave wherein he laid the tabernacle and the ark and the altar of incense, and so stopped the door. And some of those that followed him came to mark the way, but they could not find it. Which when Jeremy perceived, he blamed them, saying, As for that place, it shall be unknown until the time that Elohim gather his people again together, and receive them unto mercy. Then shall Yahuah shew them these things, and the glory of Yahuah shall appear. And the cloud also, and it was shewn under Moshe, and as when Shilom desired that the place might be honorable, sanctified. Shalom is Solomon, brothers and sisters, right? So, there you have it. The Ark of the Covenant is a chest that held the tables engraved with the Ten Commandments, engraved by Elohim for Moshe's on Mount Sinai. According to the Torah, Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, according to the Hebrew Bible, the ark was constructed by the Yashalites while they were camping out in the Sinai desert after they fled Mizraim, Egypt. The Hebrew Bible doesn't specify when they fled Mizraim. The ark vanished when the Babylonians conquered Jerusalem in 587 BC. The ark has a number or seemingly magical powers according to the Hebrew Bible. In one story, the Jordan River stopped flowing and remained still while a group of priests carrying the ark across the river. The Hebrew Bible doesn't specify when they fled Egypt. The ark vanished when the Babylonians conquered Jerusalem in 1587 BC. The ark has a number of seemingly magical powers according to the Hebrew Bible. In one story, the Jordan River stopped flowing and remained still while a group of priests carrying the ark across the river. Other stories describe how the Israelites took the ark with them into battle, where the power of the ark helped the Israelites defeat their enemies. Military efficacy of the ark in the ark narrative, however, is initially called into question as the ark is captured by the Philistines and taken by them to the temple of the god Dagon in Ashdod, wrote Susan Ackerman in the Eerdmans Dictionary of the Bible, right? Edited by David Noel Friedman. When the ark was captured by the Philistine, outbreaks of tumors and disease afflicted them, forcing the Philistines to return the ark to the Israelites. Some stories describe how death would come to anyone who touched the ark or looked inside it. The ark moved around frequently according to the Hebrew Bible, but eventually it was settled in ancient Yasha'el. The ark ended up permanently in Jerusalem in the innermost chamber of the temple. The story of how it got there is found in 2 Samuel 6. Look at the screen, brothers and sisters. Say, look at the screen. Okay, brothers and sisters, from the Sefer Bible, 2 Samuel 6, 11 to 15, Sefer Bible. And the ark of Yahuah continued in the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite 3 months, and Yahuah blessed Obed-Edom and all his household. And it was told King David, saying, Yahuah had blessed the house of Obed-Edom and all that pertained unto him because of the ark of Elohim. So David went and brought up the ark of Elohim from the house of Obed-Edom into the city of David with gladness. And it was so that when they that bear the ark of Yahuah had gone 6 paces, he sanctified oxen and fatlings, and David before Yahuah with all his might, and David was girded with a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Yasha'el brought up the ark of Yahuah with shouting and with sounds of trumpet. And also in Psalms 132, let's look at that, brothers and sisters. Take a look at the screen. Right? This is from the Sefer Bible. Tehillim. That's Psalms, that's Tehillim. Right? 132 from the Sefer Bible. Yahuah remembered David and all his afflictions, and how he swore unto Yahuah and vowed unto the mighty Elohim of Jacob, surely I will not come into the tabernacle of my house, nor go up into my bed. I will not give sleep to mine eyes, nor slumber to my eyelids, until I find out a place for Yahuah, and a habitation for the mighty Elohim of Jacob. Lo, we heard of it in Ephratah, we found in the fields of the wood. We will go into his tabernacle, we will worship at his footstool. Arise, O Yahuah, into thy rest, thou and the ark of thy strength. Let thy priests be clothed with righteousness, and let thy saints shout for joy. For thy servant David said, turn not away the face of thine anointed. Yahuah had sworn in truth unto David, he will not turn from it. Of the fruit of thy body will I set upon thy throne. If thy children will keep my covenant and my testimony, that I will teach, and I shall teach them, their children shall also sit upon thy throne forevermore. For Yahuah had chosen Zion, he had desired it for his habitation. This is my rest forever. Here will I dwell, for I have desired it. I will abundantly bless her provision. I will satisfy her poor with bread. I will also clothe her priests with salvation, and her saints shall shout aloud for joy. There will I make the horn of David to bud. I have ordained a lamp for my anointed. His enemies will I clothe with shame, but upon himself shall his crown flourish. Right, so you found these in these two places, brothers and sisters. The story you found in these two places, Samuel 6 and Psalm 32. This is outside Pentateuch and historical books, right? Later, it is thought to have been placed in the Holy of Holies in the Temple of Solomon, founded around 957 BC. With Solomon, the ark story ends rather abruptly. Jewish tradition and most scholars presume that it remained in the temple for almost 400 years until the destruction of Jerusalem by the Babylonians in 586 BC. Yet it is not mentioned in the list of spoils the Babylonians took from the temple. Perhaps this indicates that the ark was taken from Jerusalem already in the late 10th century as part of the military campaign undertaken by Pharaoh Shishak during the reign of Solomon's son Rehoboam, wrote Ackerman. It is not known what happened to the ark after the first temple was destroyed by the Babylonians. According to the book of Maccabees, the ark was hidden in a cave on Mount Nebo by the prophet Jeremiah, who said that this place shall remain unknown until Elohim gathers his people together again and shows his mercy. We read that in Second Maccabees 2:7, right? Another story tells of how the ark was brought to Ethiopia and is now at the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Aksum. Supposedly, only the guardian of the ark is allowed to view this ark, but a scholar named Edward Uhlendorf saw the ark during the World War II and found that it was not the original ark. Let me repeat again, brothers and sisters. Another story tells of how the ark was brought to Ethiopia and is now at the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Aksum. Supposedly, only the guardian of the ark is allowed to view this ark, but a scholar named Edward Uhlendorf saw the ark during World War II and found that it was not the original ark. Another story placed it in Jordan, right? Jordan is in Africa, brothers and sisters, so another story places it in Jordan and is chronicled in the Quran. The Muslim version of events was based loosely on the well-known story in the apocryphal second book of Maccabees, a late Jewish text which relates that the biblical prophet Jeremiah carried the ark out of the Jewish temple just before the Babylonians seized Jerusalem and destroyed the temple in 587 BC. Jeremiah took it across the river Jordan into what is today the kingdom of Jordan, hid it in a cave on Mount Nebo, the mountains from which Moshe had gazed upon the promised land before the Israelites conquest of Canaan, and then sealed up the entrance to the cave. Some of the prophet's followers tried to find the path that Jeremiah had taken in order to find the ark. He rebuked them and said, the ark, the sign of his kingship, would remain hidden until Elohim gathered his people together at the end of time, wrote Theodore Parfit, a professor of the religion at Florida International University. In his book, The Lost Ark of the Covenant, solving the 25-year-old mystery of the fabled biblical ark. There are many other stories of the ark survival that Parfit mentioned in his book. There are stories about how it is hidden near Jerusalem, in the city of Mecca, and even in New Guinea. Right? One text called the treatise of the vessel says that the ark shall not be revealed until the day of the coming of the Mashiach, son of David, and the book of Revelation states that the ark will not be seen again until the end times. Right? That Elohim temple in heaven was opened, and within his temple was seen the ark of his covenant, and there came flashes of lightning, rumbling, peals of thunder, and earthquake, and a severe hailstorm. Right? There are two biblical stories describing the construction of the ark. The first and the most famous version is found in the book of Exodus and describes how a large amount of gold was used to build the ark. The second version, found in the book of Deuteronomy, briefly describes the construction of an ark made just of wood. Understanding the story surrounding the ark is challenging because of the different accounts. Some scholars believe that the multiple arks may have been constructed and used at the same time or at different times. The story of the construction of the ark, told in the book of Exodus, describes in great detail how Elohim ordered Moshe to tell the Israelites to build an ark of wood and gold, with Elohim giving precise instruction. Have them make an ark of acacia wood and 2.5 cubits, 3.75 feet or 1.1 meters long, a cubit and a half, 2.25 feet or 0.7 meters wide, and a cubit and a half, 2.25 feet high. Overlay it with pure gold both inside and out. Make a gold molding around it. Exodus 25:10-11. Poles made of acacia wood, right? Poles made of acacia wood and were used to carry the ark, and 2 cherubim angels were to be sculpted out of gold and placed on the lid of the ark. The cherubim are to have their wings spread upwards, overshadowing the cover with them. The cherubim are to face each other, looking towards the cover. Exodus 25:20. Tables engraved with the 10 Commandments were placed inside the ark. The Hebrew Bible directed that the Ark of the Covenant be placed within a movable shrine known as the tabernacle. A curtain that prevented people from viewing the Ark of the Covenant was set up within the tabernacle, and an altar and incense burners were placed in front of the curtain. The incense was made of gum resin, oikochum, galbanum, and frankincense, and was to be burned by Aaron, the brother of Moshe, and his sons at morning and sunset. A man named Bezalel was chosen by Elohim to build the Ark of the Covenant, and furnishings located within the tabernacle, according to the Hebrew Bible. I have filled him with the spirit of Elohim, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, and with all kinds of skills to make artistic designs for work in gold, silver, and bronze, to cut and set stones, to work in wood, and to engage in all kinds of crafts. Exodus 31, 3 to 5. Oholiab, right? Oholiab was chosen by Elohim to be Bezalel's, right? Bezalel's assistant with skilled craftsmen helping them, the Hebrew Bible recounts. During the reign of King Solomon, the first temple, which is the holiest place in Judaism, was constructed in Jerusalem, and the Ark of the Covenant was placed in an inner sanctuary covered in gold. The Hebrew Bible says. The book of Deuteronomy, on the other hand, tells the story of the construction of a much more modest Ark of the Covenant. The book says that at one point the Israelites were worshipping a golden calf instead of Elohim. Moshe was so enraged by this that he smashed the stone tablets engraved with the Ten Commandments. Elohim ordered Moshe to help create new tablets engraved with the Ten Commandments and create a wooden ark that they should be placed in. Chisel out 2 stone tablets like the first ones and come up to me on the mountain. Also make a wooden ark. I will write on the tablets the words that were on the first tablets which you broke. Then you are to put them in the ark. Deuteronomy 10, 1 to 2. So I, Moshe, made the ark of acacia wood and chiseled out 2 stone tablets like the first ones. And I went up to the mountain with the 2 tablets in my hands. Yahuah wrote on these tablets what he had written before, the 10 Commandments he had proclaimed to you on the mountain. Deuteronomy 10, 3 to 4. Moshe then put the tables inside the wooden ark. So herein end the Shabbat lesson of the ark. I hope you get a full understanding of idea of where the ark is, brothers and sisters. So our hearts and minds should be focused on these commandments and keeping them and put them in practice, brothers and sisters, right? So Baruch Shabbat Yom, right? Baruch Shabbat Yom, blessed love, brothers and sisters, on this first day of the new year, and so fittingly it is on the Shabbat. Blessed be Yahuah, and blessed is Holy Son Yahusha, Amashiach. Shina, Shina, Vishina. Blessed love and Shalom.